Alright, this is Brandon Kaiser.
Richard Buckner.
Josh Jessen.
And yeah, I got more people today talking about E3 stuff, so we'll go through some of that. We'll run down a little bit of what Nintendo said today, but really it's not that interesting, so it should be short. And then we'll just talk about general things, and so yeah, we'll do that. So Nintendo had their Direct thing this morning, their little video of, this is our replacement for a press conference, but really it was kind of them saying, we didn't have a press conference because we didn't really have much to show anyone. So it was really depressing. The only kind of things they showed was that Super Mario 3D World thing for the Wii U, Mario Kart 8, some party crap, whatever, Art Academy, stuff nobody really cares about. Yeah. And then they kind of talked about some games they said were going to be out this summer and said they're delayed. So it was really just kind of bad news mixed with here's a spattering of some new games we can tell you about, but who knows when they'll be out. And yeah, they showed some kind of Xenoblade game thing and Super Smash Brothers with Mega Man now. So that was the gist of Nintendo's press conference.
And Villager.
They showed...
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And the Villager.
Whatever. So they showed some 3DS stuff too, and things like Super Smash Brothers will be on 3DS also, so...
And you won't have to buy
Once
each
again,
Smash Brother characters individually.
Yeah. Once again, yeah, why have a Wii U at this point? They still haven't come up with a reason. Unless you're a super hardcore Nintendo fanboy, in which case you probably already have one, or, you know, I don't know, you're a kid and you're waiting for a price drop, or your birthday or something? Whatever, anyways. Okay, so that was the depressing Nintendo part. So,
and that pretty much is, Nintendo could have just told us that. It would have been a way quicker, they didn't have to
yeah, it was like a 40-minute video too, and first of all, Iwata was talking super slow, and then second of all,
you had to fill that time.
Yeah, it was, oh man, it was kind of rough to watch. But anyways, things we saw. Yesterday, I know I posted some videos talking about the Microsoft E3, or EA, and Sony press conferences, and I kind of said that Sony won, based off of what we saw yesterday, and
I don't think much has changed.
Not really. I skipped Ubisoft's press conference because there wasn't a lot new there. There's a lot of stuff we had already seen. The Crew just looks like a kind of interesting type racing game sort of thing, but whatever. Didn't really catch my interest that much. And then The Division looks cool, but it's kind of like Watch Dogs. We won't get it for years down the road, even though it has promise and looks interesting. So that was all I basically had to take away from Ubisoft.
I thought we were getting Watch Dogs this year.
Now, but when we first saw Watch Dogs last year, it was like, oh, well, obviously this ain't going to be out, and obviously this is next gen, and, you know, all that kind of stuff. It was kind of Watch Dogs of last year, this year, and that's kind of how everybody sees it, not just what I said.
Fair
so,
enough.
anyways, yeah. So, that was it. These guys, though, haven't told you what they thought, so I'm going to try to open it up now for more of your guys' impressions of things, since most people know the gist of mine. So,
open her up.
You want to start, Josh, or Richard?
Richard's got something to say.
I'll open it up since I don't have much to say.
Alright.
But when it comes to Nintendo, didn't watch it. Sleeping. Had other things to do.
Well, I watched it later. I didn't, like, wake up for it. But,
oh, okay. Well. I'm watching a video right now for the new Mario, for Mario World, for Super Mario 3D World. Looks fun for the Wii U.
It's a good game on 3DS, so... Nice.
So that's Nintendo.
I almost won a 3DS, almost, but I don't know if it's worth my disposable income. So.
Okay.
So that was Nintendo. Okay. So I haven't seen much either with PlayStation. The only press conference I did see was the Microsoft. So
what did you think of the Microsoft press conference overall? Were you disappointed? Were you happy? Were you excited?
I liked some of the stuff I saw.
Okay. You want to tell us about some of those things?
Yeah, sure. You know, I enjoyed seeing the way the new Metal Gear Solid looks. I thought the whole open world thing kind of, made me think of Red Dead Redemption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But it's nice to see Japanese people trying something new. You know, making a more open world sort of thing.
Yeah, so that's going to be all
I guess maybe that's not the greatest, but yeah. Okay.
You know, get back to I guess to Xbox, whatever else. Starting July 1st, being gold member, you get free game downloads or whatever else. So I'm curious to see what games they're gonna offer up for free.
Well, they told us 2 of the games.
Yeah, which is
There were games I already had.
Yeah.
So
Assassin's Creed 2.
I think that's pretty much what we're gonna get is old games that if you wanted to play, you probably already played. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's nice. It's a nice feature.
Either way, it sounds like there's a chance I might score a free game out of this. Fuck it, why not?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Some of their games look like, so was it Sunset Overdrive? Looks like Crackdown.
I didn't think that, but it looks interesting.
The art style,
I think that's one of the games I'm most interested in for Xbox One, even though we didn't see much. Just because I think it has a lot of promise. So.
Also, too, because I have racing. I'll have phases where I like racing games, and Forza 5 looks cool. I was a little pissed at the fact that it's gonna learn how you play and whatever else. So it's like
the Drivatar.
The Drivatar. I like to race dirty and kind of do dick moves to the computer. And now it's going to learn how I drive.
Drivatar is like the biggest thing everyone makes fun of coming out of E3. And really, oh man, it was so, why did they do that? And they're so serious about it too. They're so serious about it talking about, they're like, well, we implemented the Drivatar feature and we did this and like, you didn't pause for everyone to laugh when you said Drivatar, because what are you doing?
Richard's just worried that the computer's going to be onto his dick move.
Yeah.
So I thought it was kind of cool though too. So it'll learn how I drive. So then when someone else plays.
Okay, but do you really care about what your game is doing when you're not playing it? That was the weird thing to me. Was it's like, oh, the game will be playing for you when you're not playing.
I really don't care, but I like the sound of. I like the sound of being able to fire it up and go play it and be like, well, you were away. Your car won you.
Yeah.
100,000 credits. Sweet. That's less shit I gotta do.
I'll take free credits.
Yeah, I guess, but then, I don't know, like, your credits are supposed to be like a carrot on a stick, right? So, if you're trying to earn credits by playing the game, couldn't you just go, I'm not going to play this game for a month and see how many credits I get, and then play it, unlock a bunch of shit, and play it, like, it's kind of weird to me.
It's more of it's kind of like Facebook game sort of stuff I see.
Yeah, like Real Racing 3 or whatever for iOS and I think it's Android anyways, whatever, it's EA game, portable phone game. They have this thing where when you're racing, you're kind of racing how people raced that even you don't know, just you'll see like pictures of people come up over the cars of, oh, this is this person on Facebook or whatever.
And like the ghosting shit, I know that was in something.
So it's not anything that new if that's what they were talking about.
Yeah. But they called it Drivatar, so
so it's ridiculous.
I don't know. I'm kind of a fan. I mean, cool. If Xbox is the route I go, that'll be one of the games I get.
I'm glad somebody is. Okay.
Wait, no, I'm just saying if it's the way I go.
Okay.
I still don't know.
Okay.
Minecraft 1, just because we play Minecraft.
We do play Minecraft.
Although I thought that was kind of like when they announced, like, we're gonna have Minecraft for Xbox One. I'm like, but you have it for the 360.
Yeah.
I assume they're gonna make it more like the PC version.
Well, they said they basically, from what it sounded like, and granted it was just a little trailer. It sounded like it was just gonna be bigger landscape,
which is
otherwise the same thing.
All that's missing from the current release.
Yeah.
I'm like, are they gonna make me pay for it again?
Probably. That was
my first.
I was wondering if they clean it up a little bit or whatever else.
It will look the same.
Oh,
yes,
alright, well then I guess
that's how Minecraft looks. They're not going to increase the graphics.
I think they're literally just porting it over the Xbox One and
asking
for another $20.
Me too.
Okay, well. I guess I'm
cross that one off.
I'm not all that real anymore.
You were thinking it was like a new Minecraft, right? But it's not.
I was thinking it'd be upgraded. A little fancier Minecraft.
Well, I mean, we're still not up to date with the PC version of it now.
So load times may be shorter. I'm just trying to think of anything that could be different.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But I'd like to think that eventually the 360 version was going to get those updates anyway.
Yeah, I mean they've been releasing them here and there.
I mean, we can't get a larger map size because of the Xbox constrictions, but I'd still like to think that eventually we'll get all the tiles and updates that the computer has.
Yeah.
Okay. I know we're pretty close with the last one.
I was gonna say there's let's see here. No. I guess the tweaks with gold with Xbox Live, the gold, now you can share whatever else. That seemed kind of.
What do you mean?
Like other accounts or whatever else to be able to sponge off your Xbox Live account.
Oh, the family thing.
I think they've always had family accounts.
But
and I think mainly what you're talking about is.
I guess that'd be
Xbox One stuff, aren't you? Like, is this? You're talking now? They're changing.
This is just what I saw during the press conference.
Okay, I guess
So
I didn't read it that way.
I'm talking all Microsoft.
Okay, I didn't read it that way, but whatever.
You know, so the gist I got is so that way there, then, you know, if you have a gold account, you have other people under you
That
can
marketing
use
speak, man, can't make sense of it sometimes.
it. Well, I do have 2 marketing degrees.
So he's good at bullshitting.
Okay, so what else you got?
Richard, and that's supposed to be able to bullshit a bullshitter.
Well, no, because like I said, back with that, like the gold sharing or whatever else, like my girlfriend doesn't have a gold account, and it may not be the right investment to make because she doesn't play all that much, but if she had the gold and was able to play same time, get the same benefits that way.
See, I'm pretty sure you can do that more, but I think you have to pay a little extra for a family plan thing, a family account.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah,
that's the case. I'm gonna go
Yeah,
ignorance.
'cause
I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah.
We're not parents, so we don't have that feeling of
Right.
I want to buy 3.
I'm sorry, little Joey.
Yeah.
New Dead Rising, just kind of, yeah.
You know what? I was about to say really like the first one, which I didn't. I mean, I liked it. I liked the first one. The first one was cool. And
I
like,
have it somewhere. Where? I don't know.
Okay.
yeah, it's a little it was a little complicated because it was like the controls were kind of stupid. But I mean, it was like a neat game and it had good ideas. And then the second one came out, and that was just shit. Like the second one was just really stupid.
Okay, I never played the second one. I played okay amount of the first one, I guess. But my problem is it was always an interesting premise and an interesting idea. It made for what could have been an awesome game. It was just kind of, I don't know, the implementation was kind of off. The controls were wonky. The time limit thing is kind of stupid and doesn't make it feel as open and free as it could have.
And then you could play it on the open world thing, and then that was just kind of pointless. And then you were limited by health, and like and the second one didn't do much to fix anything. But yeah, the third game, they're like, here's another Dead Rising. I went, oh, there's another Dead Rising. Like that's how I felt, kind of like Richard just said. Like
then there's
another one. Cool.
But it was all like orangish and brown and darker, and I kind of missed the colorful mall casino.
It's turned into every other gritty zombie. Game that's out there.
Yeah, I miss the
out in Los Angeles.
I miss the
colorful. It's turned into the New Vegas color scheme or the State of Decay color scheme.
Yeah.
Walking Dead Survival Instinct, and even the Telltale one had the same orangish brown, faded green color like that.
Yeah. Then really the last thing was the Halo trailer. I didn't expect Halo at first, seeing the guy walking through the sand.
I don't think anyone thought that was Halo at first. So.
Then also I'm like, oh, Halo. Okay.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of that's, Bungie doesn't have it anymore. Halo 4, it was okay. It's a different studio. I mean, it's a Halo game.
I think Halo 4 was really good. I think the long-lasting appeal of Halo 4 wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Like, at first, it was awesome. It was fun to play. We were playing it a lot. And it's just kind of dropped off, and it's hard. I do kind of want to go back and play some more of it, but at the same time, I'm like, do I need to?
Yeah. See, I remember when I got my 360 and I got, Halo 3, I would go home from, I think it was in classes, I was in school.
Okay.
And I'd come home and I'd actually pop Halo 3 in and play some online without you guys and that. Halo 4, I only popped it on when you guys were on and were like, hey, let's play. And I'd be like, okay. I had no motivation. I just didn't get into it like Halo 3. I played it a lot by myself.
Yeah, I can't pinpoint what is different about it.
I don't know
to make that, but
I'm just not digging it.
I don't know. Yeah, I know what you're saying though.
Plus, we have Destiny coming out.
Destiny's kind of the new Halo, so.
Destiny's the new hotness.
Yep.
I see.
Destiny's the new black. So, anyways.
Does that
mean there's an old black?
Yes.
Morgan Freeman.
That was when there was slavery. No, I was kidding. Bad racist joke. No, sorry.
Morgan Freeman. Or wait, Amistad.
Nice.
All right.
That's really all I got. Now I'm gonna
make people hate us.
Now I'm gonna learn what's new from them.
Okay, so you didn't watch anything else. You only watched.
No, I have a DVR full of DVR from yesterday that I haven't had time to watch yet.
Well, that's only gonna have EA's press conference on it, not Sony's. But anyways,
Sony didn't.
It was only online. You had to stream it. So, anyways.
They're too late for Spike.
So overall impressions though, did you come out of that press conference going, I want an Xbox One?
I wouldn't say I want one. I'd be like, well,
because that's good. Wants are
stupid. Yeah.
Nice. Should have saw that one coming.
I saw it coming. Okay, so did it do anything to sell you on an Xbox One?
It did a little bit. I mean, I saw the Forza. I saw
You didn't mention Titanfall. What'd you think of Titanfall?
Titanfall.
That was their big show closer.
That's probably.
That was the Respawn Entertainment game, the mech first-person shooter, guys who used to do Call of Duty.
Oh. I saw that. I thought it was Mech Assault or Mech Warrior or whatever else, and I think I fast forwarded to most
Their big show
Oh
closing.
yeah, that's oh.
Well, no.
I actually
to be
think
fair-
Titanfall looks pretty cool. I'm not saying that I think it's going to be a bad game.
No, I
think
mean, but no,
it's an attempt to try something new, and therefore it gets my interest at least.
new in the vein of first-person mech shooting game. I mean, that's
No,
it's not like
because
it's
I don't
breaking
look at
new ground.
it's not a first-person mech shooting game to me because I don't really like those. So
So because you don't like
I
those, you're
was
pretending
much,
this is
no,
something
no, no.
else.
I was much more interested in well, you're not always in a mech. You're only in a mech after it can eventually be dropped and things like that. It's once it's destroyed, I'm sure you have to wait like quite a while until you can get another one. I was more interested in the on the ground stuff. I really liked the wall running and the double jump jetpack stuff that adds to the traversal of running around and shooting people. It was sort of the Tribes effect of first person shooting. So that was what interested me more than this is a mech shooting game.
I'll never forget you, Tribes, but I will totally forget Tribes Air Assault.
Remember remember the back of the box? Better than Halo.
No, we don't talk about that game. Tribes 2 is where we stopped talking about Tribes. Tribes 2 was totally sweet. I played the shit out of that.
There's a free-to-play Tribes, isn't there?
Probably
I
something.
think so. Anyways, all right. So, didn't care about Titanfall. Deadfall. Why did I call it Dead?
I don't
Titanfall. You didn't care about it.
No, it didn't really seem to interest me all that much.
Okay.
That's a
what
fair
about
assessment. I'm
what
right
about
there.
I see written down in your paper $499? What did you think about that price?
$500. That does sound expensive.
Because it
It's-
is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's no $599.
That's true.
But I mean, they do have Forza 5 and Cloud Racers. Cloud Racers!
Also, though, too, now Microsoft points are now going to be in
Yeah, they got.
your local currency.
They're abolishing Microsoft points.
You got one less thing to think about.
Great. Thanks for getting rid of those points, Microsoft.
No, it's nice. It doesn't change much, but
No, it doesn't. But I mean, it's fuck it, get rid of. Like they've been talking about phasing them out for a while now, and I'm glad we finally
think
got
they've
them to
said
sit there
before-
and say yes, we are.
I think they said before we're gonna phase them out too. They just said it was gonna be a little time before we switch everything over and all that.
And now we know what they were waiting for.
Yeah. So
I assume they'd phase them out on the 360.
okay.
But-
So is that everything you had to add? Because you only watched the Microsoft stuff so far.
That's all I got. The only thing PlayStation I've seen so far is that instructional video on how to share games.
Okay.
Sony just taking
Yeah, but-
shots.
Okay. So obviously you didn't see the Sony press conference, but right now if you had to decide between the two, money. Oh, well, I guess money would have to be an object now because now we have prices. But if somebody gave you some money, and you could afford one or the other, or both, or whatever. Okay, what I'm just trying to say is, which one would you pick if you had to make a choice? Trying to
And you
word.
can't solve it.
It's sad that I was trying to word it fairly and I couldn't. Is that really bad for Xbox that I couldn't even word it fairly? Okay, which one would you get if you had to choose?
Gun to your head, which one would you choose?
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck it. I'm gonna shoot you in your sleep, Richard.
You're shooting my
You'd
sleep.
be dead already. You're taking way too long.
Damn.
It's a tough decision.
No, I know.
This is the intense council war.
It is.
Well, gun to my head. Part of me thinks I'd probably have to go almost have to just stick with Microsoft because
The
I'm-
loyalty.
I need a thing, a banner.
that's what I'm used
Richard's
to.
pick. Microsoft.
No, it's not.
Richard's loyalty getting the best of him here.
That might be, but
That's
then,
fair.
then I gotta call and cancel, Xbox Live and all that other shit,
I don't know if you have to call.
You gotta call.
Really?
They'll
I
take-
never canceled it, so I...
Well, I know, but they love taking your money. Unless there's like a.
Actually, if I didn't call, they would cancel mine anyways because they. Oh no, I think I did put. Yeah, they have my new credit card. I used to have it all set up with my old credit card number, and I was like, I'm just not.
I'm
gonna
fortunate.
give them
My
the-
card switches over in 5 days. I have to call and activate my new card today.
Yeah. Okay, but anyways, so you would stick with Microsoft if you were given a choice right now.
given a choice right now. Then again, I haven't seen anything Sony.
That is true.
Okay.
But that's a
That's
fair-
interesting. Yeah. It's interesting viewpoints. So Josh, what did you think of yesterday's entertainment announcements and
Entertainment
festivities
announcements.
and press conferences and
Yeah. Well,
announcements?
I can't say I watched any of them. but I can't
At
say.
all? You didn't watch anything?
I got them summarized
Okay.
because I was busy catching up on some much hard-earned drinking,
Okay.
and I watched a lot of crap. But I was checking in with the news while I was at work and stuff like that, just to see how things were going and what was getting announced, and then looking up the stuff that at least looked interesting. I did that much. I looked up stuff that looked interesting, and what Microsoft gave us. And Microsoft, coming out of their, I think, universally considered disappointing announcement, you'd expect them to come out swinging at E3, which is something that you said you were expecting. Here's the games. They're going for E3, swinging for the fences. They swang a lot. They windmilled their arms around and flailed like a.
There was just an overall lack of excitement in that press conference.
And that's what it was. They flailed around like a fat turtle child that was knocked on his back.
Ooh.
And they were just like.
Oh, I'm sorry. They did bring out one of 2 cars in the world of this car, though. So there was your excitement.
Was it filled with hookers and blow?
No.
No,
Probably not.
It was filled with sadness and disappointment,
It was
which
just
is what
one of 2
sums up
cars.
the Microsoft press
And it
conference.
very well could not have been the same. One of the 2 cars. They could have just had.
It was a kit car.
Just a shell on a car.
Well, that would, coming off of their duping the OS for the Xbox One. Yes, they had a kit car for one of the 2 in existence as well. It lies and misdirected, and it's kind of funny considering 7 odd years ago when we had this gen announcements at E3, how Sony kind of had the Killzone demo, and they just kind of it was a lot of smoke and mirrors on Sony's part.
I said yesterday, there's
They
a
had
lot
the
of switching this
They
time.
had a higher price point. They had a lot of misdirection, and that's exactly what Microsoft is leading off with us this year. Is a lot of look over here. Don't look behind the curtain. Pay no attention.
I also see it as a lot of how PlayStation 3 was when it was announced. It's a lot of Microsoft going, we are the kings of this generation, and we can do no wrong, so we're going to do whatever the hell we want to. And that was kind of the PlayStation 3 viewpoint coming off PlayStation 2.
And that's what everyone thought. With Sony, everyone's like, PS2 is a juggernaut, and Sony thinks they can do whatever the fuck they want this year because they had all that installed fan base, and where did it all go? It went over to
Xbox.
Went over to
now
Xbox.
We're
And
getting the
now,
opposite.
and now Xbox is like, well, look, we have this installed fan base.
Yeah.
Let's do whatever the hell we want. They'll follow us no matter what. We'll have the higher price. We'll do all this.
Does this mean we all switch back to Microsoft, or we're all more towards Microsoft next time? Because next time
They'll just keep going back and forth.
Microsoft will be like, oh, we're sorry.
I think you're discounting Nintendo. No, you're right. It's
Yeah.
So in 10 years.
10. It'll be like 5.
Really, you don't think
5 to 7 again.
The trend is going to be, as tech kind of gets to where it is, that the generations are just going to take longer? Because that's what I see this is happening. I think the tech is kind of catching up to the point where
I know what you're saying.
they're not going to come out as often.
I don't think
I thought it was a projected 10-year life cycle.
I don't think they can take longer. Because a lot of the sentiment right now at the end of this generation is, why don't I just get a new awesome PC and then I can play better versions of a lot of these games and stuff.
Because in 10 years, that's a major concern I'm going to have teetering on 40 is, what console am I going to get?
Well, I don't know, maybe. Jeez, way to bring it down, Richard. I was just saying that the fact that a lot of these new systems are just kind of highest end PCs right now.
For children.
They're highest end PCs right now, so
Fuck them.
give it 5 years. What I'm saying is give it 5 years.
Sorry, little Joey.
Give it 5 years, and the PC games will look so much better and maybe have much more innovation and stuff at this point that, again, the consoles are going to start looking down, and then they're going to we need new consoles because we need to compete with all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm completely wrong. Buying a new PC really gets me on this PC kick of, and the PC is an actual system now. So, for me. So, it's like, I don't know if...
That one was not me.
Snake? I thought it was you doing that to him, but anyways. Yeah, so I see it as, as things improve, these systems are going to fall behind again. But I think it might happen faster this time. I can edit this out,
No, don't. Leave it. So, anyway, Xbox conference didn't push the buttons that it needed to push. It just kind of existed. They showed us some new exclusives, but I mean, from Xbox standpoint, it's Forza, it's Halo, it's they're not.
Well, they didn't show Gears of War. They didn't show.
There's gonna be another Gears of War.
Oh,
there'll be another
probably.
Gears of War. Let's be
probably.
honest.
Oh, all right. Well,
But
I suppose different offshoots. I thought that horse was kind of already.
it is, but there'll still be another one because that's what Xbox does. Is they
Whatever happened to Fortnite?
the fuck was Fortnite?
Fortnite looked interesting. That was the sort of Minecraft tower defense mixture thing where you like went out and grabbed supplies and then built up your like
I'll
fort,
assume-
and then monsters would come at the night and try to break in and
That
stuff.
does sound totally
Wasn't
sweet.
that like that 2D kind of side?
No, it was like a cartoony, stylized sort of look. They
You know
just
what?
had a trailer and they said this was coming, and we haven't heard anything since.
I'll assume since it wasn't a Forza or anything that they could guarantee to sell, they just kind of got rid of it.
Or did it? I know Cliffy B left Epic, so does that have something to do with it? Was that
It
like
could
his
be.
kind of game? So
It
they were
might
like,
have
oh no.
It wasn't Gears; they couldn't sell it, so they didn't know.
See, because I was really looking forward to it. So.
They didn't know, they didn't know they could get like 500 shelf, right off the shelves day one. So they just kind of threw it on the back burner. That's.
I don't think Judgment sold that well, did it? I mean,
Well, now they're
I
restructuring
don't hear
because
anyone
Judgment did
talking
sell.
about Judgment.
Nobody
so.
did you bought Judgment, right?
No.
No.
No,
You
I
did?
have Judgment. I'm the only one with Judgment.
Okay, I was gonna say if
We
Richard
were-
didn't buy Judgment because I know Richard really likes some Gears.
I did. We were kicking around getting it.
Oh, that's right. We were. Yeah, it was.
Hey, we might still really like it. The problem is I haven't played much of it because it's really in multiplayer Gears. So the multiplayer stuff I've played on my own is really fun. The
I'll throw it in
overrun
the
mode-
GameCube.
The overrun mode and stuff, really fun. So there is fun to be had there. It's just the single player. I haven't played much of it because I didn't play with you guys, but I did it. So
I
Alright.
like. Oh, that's
we're
right.
not talking about Judgment.
So I know that Panzer Dragoon and Phantom Dust producers got another. What is it? Crimson
Another
Dragon?
rail shooting dragon shooting game
That's guaranteed to sell consoles. That's a console seller right
to
there.
the super hardcore Panzer Dragoon fans. Sure,
Wait,
it'll
was that
sell
the one
one.
that really showed
I
the trailer?
well, no, there's people who love
There-
Panzer Dragoon. The one without audio.
That's the one.
The one without audio. Yeah. We'll just move on.
There were so many like technical issues yesterday. It was pretty funny.
So yeah, that's.
So.
Yeah,
That's
just
all
like
I got to say.
Battlefield
Look at
not
that.
loading.
And no, that was the same problem. I think of there was no audio or something. At the Microsoft event, they had two things where they couldn't get audio, and they had to like retake the second thing, and then the Assassin's Creed demo kept freezing in the Sony press conference, and yeah, it's funny.
You mean Assassin? Get it's a joke.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Haha.
I just want to touch one last thing about the Xbox Microsoft thing was Killer Instinct, which packaged with your $600 Xbone, or no, $500.
It comes with it.
Yeah.
I didn't hear him say that. Yes.
Well, it's gonna. Oh, I don't know. If
Maybe
it's
they
free.
came out and said it since.
It's
then.
free and it's gonna be with release. So maybe it doesn't come installed, but you can certainly download
Go out to
that
the marketplace.
So it's free.
Download it.
for the one character that you get with it, and you can buy other characters. Which, looking at what we just read, the guy's quote about the fighting games is that people only use a small number of characters, so it's cheaper just to buy those 3 or 4 characters you want than to buy a whole fighting game. Which I guess is a good way of looking at it, but it's still inherently wrong.
This, you brought this up to me and you made fun of it, saying you have to pay for each of the characters. I thought that was on top of like.
No. You get
hand
one
game.
character free. You get one of their new. I can't remember. It starts
Now
with
I kind of think I kind of like this idea.
Jado.
I kind of like this idea now.
They.
I don't even like the game, or do I want to play it? But this idea is what I like.
Jago.
This-
J-A-G-O.
Information.
If mobile games have shown us anything, it's that you can make a ton more money if you give away a game
With
for
micro-
super cheap
and then
or
make people
free,
buy all the shit.
and then make people buy stuff, separately, microtransactions.
I play Avengers Alliance. I know how that works.
This is what I'm talking about. So, I mean, you can make a ton more money because you're getting so many more people playing your stuff. And this is what I thought. This is what I think that the systems need to look at, because look at what's happening with like. I always bring up like Tomb Raider sold like 4.5 million copies or whatever, but then they said it was disappointment. That's a ton of copies. It's a ton of money, but it's still disappointment. It's because of how much money it takes to make a game nowadays. So someone, I think, at some point needs to take a gamble like this and see if they could make a ton of money
good thing
doing this.
It's rare because God knows they haven't made a ton of money in a long
Well, the
time.
problem I think here is this was an interesting idea and could be awesome. The problem is it's on the Xbox One, and how many people are going to get that right away?
And well, also this is like Rare's big thing. This is what, like Rare, was really big back in, I was about to say the 80s, but not that. Rare was really big in the 80s with used to tour with Enough's Enough. But no, Rare did, the first Killer Instinct, that was kind of like, it wasn't a good game. Let's be fair, no one really
I
liked
didn't really
Killer
play it
Instinct,
much. Don't know
but
much.
it was ridiculous, and that's why people liked it.
It was another
you
fighting
could-
game.
You could punch a werewolf.
Didn't it come out around the same time as Primal Rage? Was it
Yeah.
the dinosaur fighting game? Dinosaur
But that's-
fighting game always
that was
interested me
around-
Had
more.
that one too.
Always interested me more.
See,
It
that was
dinosaurs.
around the time when like fighting games weren't the best fighting games. Like they weren't
Yeah.
Street Fighter combo stuff. They were just making ridiculous shit. They made
But they
the
had
dinosaur
cool-
fighting game, Primal Rage.
Primal
Yeah, but
Rage.
they had
Had
cool-
that for Super
they-
Nintendo.
Two gorillas.
They had cool like claymation styles and stuff though too, and
They had Clay Fighters, and they had.
Clay Fighters, sweet.
So no, this was
I
around
remember
that
playing the first Killer Instinct 2 or whatever
Yeah.
else and just button mashing because I had no fucking
TJ
clue.
Combo. Like the game didn't give a shit. It was just
I think that was the black of
that was the name
Boxing
of the
gloves.
guy, TJ Combo.
Okay.
this boxer.
All right. So anyways,
Yeah.
Or Cinder,
Talking-
like
talking-
the
But I'm
orange
just-
guy, and
talking
just
a lot about Killer Instinct too.
Yeah, and I wanted to talk about it briefly. That's funny.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's just this is Rare's return. Like everyone's like, yeah, Rare's coming back after the disappointment of Cameo,
I think
Perfect
everyone-
Dark Zero, or whatever the fuck that was.
I still don't know what people wanted from Rare that they were so
I
excited for.
don't know. Well, Microsoft bought them. Everyone's like, Microsoft got Rare. This is going to be great for
Because
them.
at the time they were making sweet games. Yeah.
And then Rare's just been diarrhea, butthole farting all over everything.
That'd be cool.
Oh,
Like,
they haven't,
you
been,
know,
they haven't been that bad.
they released like Donkey Kong or some shit. You know, the Rare games like in Xbox.
No, the
Live Arcade.
N64 Rare games were good, and that's
Yeah,
because
that was the last time they were good.
that was it. Was N64? They had what
I
Banjo?
was Cameo was okay. Nuts and Bolts was okay. Like nothing was just that great. They were just kind of mediocre games. That's all.
And for everyone made like a big deal when they bought Rare, like, oh, they got Rare, and now it's like, what have they done for you? Not a whole
They gave
lot.
you avatars.
And so let's go over to what's it? EA's. I think EA was next, right? Yeah, EA was next. I didn't care.
I was pretty positive coming out of the EA press
I just like saying
conference.
Imogen Poots. That's basically Imogen Poots and Michael
Okay.
Keaton in the Need for Speed movie, also known as.
That was like 2
Fast
seconds.
and
of the
Furious?
conference. That was like nothing in the
And
conference.
literally nothing that. Look at everything looked very cool, I guess. Mirror Edge getting a reboot.
Which I'm disappointed in.
Yeah,
Because it has guns.
And EA or Dragon Age 3, which it better not be Dragon Age
No,
2. That's
Dragon
only-
Age Inquisition.
Which better not be Dragon Age 2. God forbid they do that to me again. Ubisoft conference. The Mighty Quest for Epic Loot. That kind of looks cool. That touches my nerd.
Isn't that like already out or something?
I know it's like I don't know. If
I think
it's
there's a
out.
beta out or something right now.
I think there's
you
a
can
beta.
Still play it. Like it's not. It was a weird thing to show though because they didn't show much of the game. They just showed this kind of stupid, ridiculous trailer, and then showed very little of the game. But
And then Lana Kane told me about Assassin's Creed 4, which I'm very interested in because it's about pirates. And I just beat the third one, and yes, the boat section was the best and most interesting part about Assassin's Creed.
yeah, I have to catch up still on
The
Assassin's
boats.
Creed. So
So I'm glad that the next one's about pirates, I guess. I mean, I'm only glad that it's about pirates. At this point, I just wish they would have ended it at 3 and maybe wrapped up the stuff. And they're just dragging it. Like, they shouldn't have to do that, but at least this one's got pirates. That's all I got for you.
I think it'll be interesting to see if Assassin's Creed kind of starts getting to an end point because of the rise of things like Watch Dogs and that Division game they showed. Like, what if that becomes the future of an Assassin's Creed type game?
I really don't want that to happen.
No?
No,
You want the Assassin's Creed to just keep going?
No, I want Assassin's Creed to end, but I don't want Watch Dogs to be the next Watch
I think
Dogs.
Watch Dogs is really
2.
cool.
It
No,
does,
I don't
but
want that.
Watch
I don't want
Dogs
that.
2, Watch Dogs Revelation,
But I'm saying...
Watch
and
Dogs Dog House, or
But
whatever
I-
the fuck they're gonna call it.
I think that's cool, though, that they showed the Division for that reason, because it was kind of like... We got another game that does some kind of cool online stuff in theory and that we're trying to work on and that is third person, but this one's more of an RPG, this one's, has some different things going for it, but in a way it's kind of like Watch Dogs, like, it has the same, like, feel of a Watch Dogs, right? And, But
Yeah.
it's not Watch Dogs 2 right away. We're also working on Watch Dogs 2 while Watch Dogs 1 isn't coming out. No, it wasn't like that. It was kind of them saying, we have certain ideas and thoughts on games we want to make, and we don't need to do sequels to everything.
They don't need to.
We don't
Doesn't
need to
mean
do-
they won't.
We don't need to do sequels to everything. I know, but I think it looks like Ubisoft is heading in a good direction. Now, whether they will or not, we'll have to wait and see.
TJ Dickie B, Assassin's Creed thoughts? Did you ever?
I've never really played it. I watched my brother play it.
Wait, you've never played Assassin's Creed like at all? Any of them?
No.
Oh, interesting.
Your girlfriend wouldn't let you?
Oh no. She'd be all about that Renaissance shit, whatever else. No.
You're watching Watch Dogs right now.
I am. I'm curious what you're talking about.
All right.
But
So-
no, from what I could see, it
You're
just,
29 years old. You haven't played Assassin's Creed? You're not
What?
married. You don't have children.
Hey, that's his choice. If he wasn't that interested,
I was going for a
that's
Patrick
great.
Stewart Star Trek thing.
Oh, okay.
You've seen Star Trek: The Next Generation, haven't you? Remember?
I've seen it
it's on
played.
extras.
And just
Yeah, I
watching it
remember.
and whatever else. Just I remember my brother was trying to get this out, and he was just.
Oh, he was trying to run up a wall. I guarantee you, he was trying to run up a wall.
He was parkouring up some shit. I saw that and I'm like, you know what? I just want to play a game. I don't want to fuck around with all this stuff. To climb, fall. I'm like, eh. So seeing
Well, then
shit
you
like
must have
that,
sucked. You just don't fall.
The trick
No,
to
no.
falling is to not.
I could see myself doing that.
Oh, okay.
And as soon as I saw it, I'm like, yeah,
That's-
that's difficult for me. Fuck that.
That's
Okay.
fair. I can see.
Okay. Yeah.
Or
So it's like, nah, I'm not gonna.
And I assume I'm
invest in the franchise.
I assume I'm the only one that played Dragon Age, right?
I played the first Dragon
I played
Age.
the
have
demo
The
for
first
2.
one. You have the first Dragon
I
Age,
played the
Yes.
demo for 2.
and then that was it.
Yep.
God, 2 was terrible, terrible, terrible.
I thought the demo was okay. I thought it
But
was.
you didn't play the first
I thought it could be interesting.
And the first one.
I have 2 actually. I bought it for like $10 because I was like, oh, I'll give this a try.
White Tears.
Never played the first one because the first one looked like an MMO that wasn't online.
No, the first one was your regular PC RPG from the glory days of PC RPGs.
That's why I didn't play it.
I didn't get
It
real
looks so
far in
plain
it.
to
I
me.
have it. I
It
played
looks so
it.
plain to me.
Thank you, Richard.
It looks so plain
Thank
to me.
you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I probably disappointed a lot of people out there too. The 5 people that watch this. But anyways. Yeah.
Way to disappoint him even further. Let's talk about Sony.
Sorry.
Let's talk about their $399 US
Okay.
and how that's great. I don't even need to look at this. I know what I want to say about Sony. So here's what they did, and I enjoy that. I feel like I'm happy about Sony because I feel right, and I like being right. And I like that Sony kind of is like, all I've been saying is like they needed to take a step back. They needed to observe what everyone would like. They threw their cards down first, but they threw down. I remember an episode of Full House. Wait, not Full House. Family Matters. Richard, follow me on this one.
All right.
Remember when
I've
Urkel,
seen Family Man.
when Urkel was playing poker with Carl and
Yeah.
like his guys? He went to poker night.
Carl and Lieutenant Murtaugh. Yes, yes. All right.
So you remember
I
when
remember
like
this
the
episode.
the last hand he was like and he like threw down. He's like, I got 3 of a kind, and he's like, I only, or no, it was a full house.
The
He's like,
lieutenant was like, put his like my watch.
Yeah.
And Carl was all like, dude, you wouldn't even sell that watch for your mom to have her operation.
yes. So the one guy's like, and at the end he's like, Murdoch's like, I got a full house, and Urkel's like, I only got 2 pairs. 2 pairs of 2s, and he had like a 4 of a kind and won everything.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I saw Sony. Like, Sony went and they're like, I only have 2 pairs. And Xbox is like, oh, they do their press conference. They get all their shit. It's obviously a flop, and everyone's pointing fingers going, like, look at what Xbox is doing. Why is it? They're doing this. That's stupid. Don't do that. Why would they do that? And then Sony's like, 2 pairs of 2s. They just kind of, like, gauged the responses and then pulled out this response that is basically the polar opposite of everything that Microsoft has been saying.
Which led me to believe that were those announcements planned to be in the Sony press conference before Microsoft went?
I don't believe they were.
I don't think so either. I
Hold
get
on.
the feeling they threw that together.
It would be nice, it'd be in a world
Especially
that we live in.
$400. That was definitely the thing. I think they quick went, can we do $400? Can we do $400? We can.
Let's do it.
$400.
And that's what I wanted it to have. I want them to be sitting there day one, like the day just before E3, going, all right, we've crafted this masterful strategy to like fuck Microsoft. Let us implement that. Not the whole business where they had it all planned. This is just what they're doing. They're just releasing information slowly. No, I want Sony really lost their shit this last gen, and they needed to craft a very aggressive, very smart strategy to take down Microsoft. So they let Microsoft kind of put their own foot up their ass, and then they kind of dropped all this stuff that was like, hey, everybody who's upset, we're not doing any of that. Come back home to Sony. And it's great, and that's what I've said they should do. That's what they're doing. And maybe it's just because it's what I said they should do that I'm happy for them. I'm very happy for Sony. That they're just
and they have
doing
this,
everything right. They're doing everything right, and that's great.
And they have this very like entertaining, snarky confidence to
Yes.
everything they're doing too. Where
It's like they're so cocksure. They know what they're doing.
They know they're cutting into
It's what-
Microsoft.
it's
like,
what
they're not
Microsoft
even
is-
hiding it. you know?
Microsoft's
Like,
been doing that for years. Every other thing, they'd show up and be like, "Hey, everybody, new Call of Duty. We got a dog," or some shit like that.
No, that was this time.
Whatever. But
That and we exclusive. We'll get the maps first.
all that. Yeah, they've been. Microsoft was parading around because they had everyone. You know, they didn't give a shit, and now it's like the shoe is.
But they didn't do that until the end of the generation.
And
You know what
now,
I mean? Like,
now it's completely flipped, and Sony's just like they came out with the instructional video how to share games.
Yeah,
like they're
yeah.
just. And Sony's always done that. They've always taken a lot of shots in the ad campaign, and they're adding their ad campaigns pretty.
yeah, the Kevin
hilarious, too.
Butler ads were always great.
And they've always had really good
Yeah.
ads, and these ones are just like left punch, right cross
Well
after another.
played,
They're just like juggling. I could see Microsoft just going, stop hitting me in the face right now, because they're just like playing with them right now, and it's great. I guess we could talk about the games because that's what really matters.
Okay.
What the hell did they have? I don't really give a shit.
Well, I got some things to say on Sony. I said yesterday I thought they won, and right now if I had to pick a system, it would probably definitely be a PlayStation 4, which is odd to say because I've mentioned before I have issues with their controller with the joysticks not being offset. Again, do that. That's one of the things you can do to completely sell me on this thing. But the main, even that I can get used to that or whatever. I'm sure it'll be fine if they don't ever offset their joysticks. However, I have one really strong issue with what they're doing, and it is they talked a lot about trust at the end of the conference yesterday, and how we are the trustworthy, group, and we trust our consumers, and all this trust. But it's almost like they don't want to remember about a year and a half ago when we were hacked, our network was down for a month, and I switched credit cards because I was worried someone was going to steal my credit card information. Like, they weren't so trustworthy then, and so they snuck in that thing about you have to pay $5 a month or whatever. You have to buy PlayStation Plus to play online.
Xbox Live.
Yeah, which is fine, which is why I don't have a problem with that. But I want to know that money that everyone's putting in is going towards better security and better servers and doing things to improve the overall way the internet system works on a PlayStation system. So if they can just tell me, this is why you have to pay, this is where this money is going, I will feel a lot better.
But does Microsoft? To be fair, my Microsoft account.
Yes,
is
I'm
sure. I got my account hacked for.
Really? See, I never did. I don't have that experience.
It was when I was on vacation. Like I came back a week later from Indiana.
Well, no one is safe.
Suddenly, I had like new achievements, and my credit card got like charged $20 in Microsoft points.
Oh.
Like that happened to me.
Okay.
And they called and they were telling me it was because like some online games were being hacked, and they said it was FIFA. I had never played FIFA. So I have no idea. Like the closest thing I could say is like I briefly put on Space Marines multiplayer, and that was like the only online thing I had done different from like my normal games. But somehow they got my shit because I had to like re-sign into my account. So I'm like, what's going on? And
yeah. Well, I mean,
it was fucked up.
Nothing is safe.
But there you go.
Nothing is safe. But I want some sort of assurances that they're taking steps to make it safer. Like I know you're never safe online.
And
it's
Steam.
just unfortunately
Steam gets hacked.
Yeah, but everything gets hacked.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
nothing is completely safe. But I just want to know.
I think you just feel hurt.
I do.
You're a victim. You're a victim
and
right now.
I'm worried. And I'm worried also that if I go PlayStation 4, am I going to be able to play the internet for a month if something happens? I mean, it's not just the getting hacked. It's also the no internet for a month on PlayStation Network. You know what I mean? Like, are you gonna tell me that you're taking a bunch of steps using some of this extra money coming in or whatever to make sure that doesn't happen again?
And it's not. Well, I mean, I can't say security-wise. It does sound like they're stepping up their online game to match.
I hope so.
Not exceed.
I hope so.
What Xbox Live currently has.
I think Sony is saying a lot of the right stuff right now, and I think.
But it comes down to implementation.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen. We have a lot of time before the systems come out.
We still have time.
Not
4 months, 3 days, 7 hours, and 40 minutes.
Nice.
What?
But I just
PS4 countdown.
I don't think they had a date. So how are you getting a countdown when
That's what this website's telling me.
I just want to.
Alright, I never saw a date. So
let me roll down some like negative things about the PS4 because I'm for it.
Well, also coming out of yesterday, they didn't say how big the hard drive is going to be. That worried me. But now today they said it's going to be 500 gigs.
We know it's 500.
And it's going to be replaceable,
which is
that's what we wanted to hear from Xbox that we didn't get. Because to me, still 500 gigs this next generation is not enough. It's not enough at all. Especially when you have to install the games and do all that kind of stuff. Not enough. So.
Let's see.
It's good to see.
Things I don't like about the PS4. Well, the paying on...
It's a parallelogram? Is that something you like or not like?
That you have to pay for the multiplayer. Well, that you need PlayStation Plus to go on, like, because even with Xbox, you could take a silver account and at least get
You couldn't
some.
play with people.
I thought or no, you couldn't.
You could still go online.
You'd have to get their guest account.
I'm sure you can.
You're right.
Yeah.
Well, then never mind.
It's
Fuck
the
it.
same. It's the same. They just made it the same, basically.
Well, then, shit. There's got to be something I don't like about it.
So you don't have any concerns about the online?
Well,
then
no.
again, you don't have a PlayStation 3. You've
Yeah,
never tried to play
I
a
didn't
game
get burned
online.
like you did.
And it's not just that.
I'm not suffering like
You
post-traumatic.
You probably never tried to. You
distress.
probably never tried to play a game online on PlayStation 3 either.
No, I've.
Oh yeah.
Local multiplayer
This is what I'm
and
talking
single
about.
player.
I know what I wanted to
That's
say
awesome.
about online. The other thing they need to do to sell me
And you do
on
get free
this,
games with PlayStation Network, like
Yeah,
you're doing with
nice.
Xbox. which-
but
Right.
so it's the same.
just tell me,
Yeah.
Sony. Just tell me and put it out there so that we can ease a lot of people, or you can help put a lot of people from Xbox over to Sony. Tell us that on PlayStation 4 there will be cross-game chat. So you don't have to be playing the same game and in the same thing to talk to people. Tell us that will be possible. All right? At this point, you pretty much won. Now just take the things that people like about Xbox Live and take them. Make them your own. Do your own versions of them, and you will get people even more.
We need more home.
No,
No.
forget home. Nobody cares about home. Just cross-game chat.
I'm not.
'Cause people forget that you can't do that on PlayStation 3,
I
and
am-
we do that all the time.
I am not
So-
interested in Killzone.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone.
I think Killzone looks kind of cool,
it keeps looking. That's Killzone. It looks cool.
but it's another shooter. It's another
a shooter.
shooter. I'm not saying it'll be bad. It'll probably be pretty good. I mean, the Guerrilla Games guys, they make solid shooters. It's not gonna be a bad game. It's just nothing new and exciting.
Exactly. Which, speaking of nothing new and exciting, let's talk about Nintendo's press conference.
I was gonna
now.
say back to PlayStation though too. I mean,
Damn it! That was a perfect segue.
I'm sorry.
Take it
So-
away anyway.
No, just with even the staples, your kill zones or whatever else, yeah. Gran Turismo, it is something like that, yeah. As long as I have one of the main title, I'm
We do have
good.
Gran Turismo 6.
Did they talk
I
about
thought
it?
they said that was PlayStation 3 though.
I can look that up.
I'm not sure, but
It's in my list.
I guess that's kind of the other negative about.
You're right. That is
it's-
PS.
Yeah, it's the other negative about PlayStation 4 to me.
But we
And
can
it's-
assume there's a 7 on
This
its way.
is not a problem with PlayStation 4. It's just the way I feel, and that is, I'm really glad it's $400, not $500, because if I get a PlayStation 4, that is going to mean that I am much more interested now in a Vita. So there's
You-
$250
You
to
are.
add onto it.
And they did
And
announce some
again,
stuff for the Vita
you don't
too.
have to. You don't have to get a Vita if
You
you have a
don't.
PlayStation 4. I'm not saying that that's a problem with that. It's a problem with myself, feeling as though, man, I want to play games when the
Who knows
TV's
how
not
cheap it's
on.
going to be by the
And
time it comes
yeah, that's
out.
true. It could have a price drop. I think some people were expecting a price drop this E3, and if they would have had a price drop for that, I kind of would have been sold on one. So
Yeah.
I think maybe that's where Sony dropped the ball. They didn't announce a price cut for Vita. So
I just, a quick aside for what, Sony, Microsoft differences. Because, like I said, I didn't have a PS3, and I felt like I missed out. Because, Microsoft, we get Halos, and we get another Forza. Sony, they gave us, Heavy Rain and The Last of Us. They did push some...
and Uncharted.
And Uncharted, which they did serialize eventually. But, they kind of took some chance...
But
They
they
did-
didn't
they did-
serialize. It wasn't every year.
Not
It
every year,
was-
but they took chances with different IPs, which is, I think, something Microsoft, in their own in-house development
Yeah.
stuff, never really did. They gave
That's
us a lot of
true.
stuff that kept selling.
I will say though,
Sony seemed to take a little bit more chances, and that's, like I said, I'm more interested in new things. At this point, I've seen
I've
everything.
been clear on that too. I want something
we've seen
new.
all this stuff over and over again, and yes, they're fun games. Yes, I'll play them. Ooh, GTA 5. Yes, I love GTA 5.
Yeah.
But that comes out every 3 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And it's always polished and really good.
Well, they're not without their glitches. But
They're not
okay.
without their. But I'm just saying, some of the games come out regularly, and you can forgive them because they're really awesome games that don't come out every other year. But Microsoft really pushed the. Here's another thing that, Call of Duty. Here's another stuff like that. They pushed things.
Well, they looked at the now and not the future. I think
exactly,
that's the problem.
and Sony did a lot of stuff, especially near the end of this gen. They gave us a lot of stuff that was new. They took chances.
They took more chances.
And that's, what, fuck it. If I was gonna get one more, if I'm jumping in for another gen and not going for a PC, which I'll have both. Let's be honest, I'll have my PC. But if I was gonna get a console, the console exclusive stuff, I'd expect Sony to give me more diverse and a more interesting experience than Microsoft would.
But I will say this, that was one of the negatives coming out of Sony's press conference was they didn't have a whole lot of exclusive things to show us. You know,
That's
like
true.
a lot of it was, here's Assassin's Creed, here's Watch Dogs, and it's like, well, these games are on both systems.
Here's Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy.
Here's Kingdom Hearts and Final Fantasy.
Which
here's,
people mistakenly thought was only going to be for them, but Squeenix needs that money. They can't afford it.
And there was really nothing to... I mean, granted, they didn't say this is for both systems, but it was a Sony press conference. They're not going to say it's for both systems.
And Microsoft didn't,
I just assumed
didn't do it
they were
either.
for-
You know, when
Yeah,
they showed
yeah,
us,
I
they didn't go
assumed-
available for Xbox and they, you know.
Yeah, just like Call of Duty is not going to be exclusive to Xbox.
Exactly.
Call of Duty will be on both.
I mean, it's
So-
going to sell way more on the Xbox than it will on PlayStation.
If history continues,
If history
yes.
continues.
But see, that was I mentioned that Sony was looking forward more and Microsoft is looking more at the present. They're doing that though, but in every way except for the things that people flipped out about. Like, eventually, I'm sure every system will be always online. Eventually, I'm sure that used games will be a thing of the past. But then again, I also think that everything will be digital distribution much more.
But it was very
it's not gonna
obvious
be-
from.
But I think they're just too early on this stuff.
From
And that's-
Microsoft, when Microsoft announced it, it was clear from at least the internet-generated hate that we're not ready for this.
Mhm.
And instead of forcing the issue,
Well, the internet will always
Sony-
hate DRM, no matter what.
Well, that's
but it's something that's going to happen.
but they didn't like Sony isn't forcing it. Like Microsoft is like, this is how it is. We're gonna do this, and Sony was like, hey guys, you don't have to. And that's
Well,
what their perfect move.
yeah, and Sony did say now that it's kind of more up to the publisher in terms of used games. It's not a clear cut.
But you
No,
know what?
they're not
Everyone is so behind their bandwagon right now that
Yeah.
they didn't hear them from the front of the wagon going, we're not that completely different. Everyone's too busy going,
Yep,
oh
yep.
shit, destroyed, Sony destroyed
Because
them.
they said what they needed to say, basically. I mean,
Because they put down a good game.
the crowd went
They
nuts.
put down the 2-4, or the 2-2s.
The crowd went nuts on the three main announcements in the PlayStation 4 press conference, right? The used games will have no restrictions. The you will not need an internet connection to use it, and $399. When they said those three things, each time the crowd erupted.
And you know what, to be fair,
And so it was like,
all they really had to do was $399 US. And that would have been
Yeah.
it. Because I'm pretty sure that price
after
point
they
is-
said the first two things, I didn't know if we were going to get a price. I kind of thought of it
Oh.
as, I bet they're behind the scenes going, all right, guys, we need to work on this $400 price.
We
And
need
they
to
weren't going
try
to
it.
announce anything. And they weren't going to announce anything at the conference. So it's cool that they figured it out. Because I said, I got the feeling that they figured that
Yeah.
out during the day after Microsoft and went, oh, they went 500. We
better
can totally knock them out
drop
if
'em.
we drop it to 400. And I know Microsoft is saying, well, you get a Kinect. You get that. But again, it's nice to have the choice of wanting the Kinect or not. I mean, I understand if you put the Kinect in automatically, it can open stuff up gameplay-wise for it, and it'll make it so that the game manufacturers know that everyone has a Kinect,
Yeah.
so they can,
And you know,
anticipate that. And so there's
Microsoft
good
was
things about
talking
it.
about looking
but-
at different bundles. So for all we know, they may end up giving us a Kinect-less 360 Xbox.
And there's
Somewhere
nothing
down the
saying
line.
there were no tiers or anything, so there's
No
only
white
one
tiers.
price on each right now, and there's no saying that we're not going to have a subscription thing, where maybe the Xbox One won't be $500, maybe you can get it for like $200-$300 and then pay for Xbox Live for 2 years, sign a contract for that, or
God, I hate that.
whatever. But they could do that as a way of lowering the price. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that you should do that. I'm just saying that here's a way to bring down the price, and something they could still do. I mean, these aren't set in stone. Right now, in the eyes of gamers, yes, these are kind of set in stone things. But
The one thing I'm kind of concerned about, going on is because, I mean, I think at this point I'm clearly going to get a PS4, probably not at launch, but I'll still have my 360. Do I really want to pay for 2 online memberships?
yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna get. Part of me says I do just want a PlayStation 4 right away, but I don't know if I need one. If anything from this conference, I kind of got the feeling of, I don't know if I need anything right away, because a lot of the bigger titles, a lot of the things that were...
Some of the big things are going to be on this gen, like Watch Dogs.
That's true, but if I play Watch Dogs, I'm not going to want to play it on this gen. You know what I mean? Like,
God, don't be such an asshole.
but that's just the way I'll feel. That's just the way I'll feel.
Don't feel like that.
See it
Don't
as
be
an asshole, whatever.
So
but
that game will now cost.
But you're telling me you're not going to play Watch Dogs.
560.
So, well, it's an investment for later. But, and it won't be 560, it'll be 460. Were you not listening? I said I would get a PlayStation 4 if I had to pick anything right away.
Oh, I didn't hear which console was on.
Yeah.
It's on
on every
everything,
console.
including this
So-
gen, which is why I just get it for the 360.
Yeah, but
Right.
what I'm saying is, and could I
Practical.
get it?
Yes.
Could I get it on 360? Sure. But while I'm playing it, am I not going to be thinking about how much better it'll look on a PS4 or a PC. Maybe I'll just get it for PC. Maybe there's the answer. Just get these
There
games
you
for
go.
PC
There you
right
go.
away.
You know what? I'd like to see the side by side, 360 Xbone fucking
Yeah, well,
comparison.
that's the thing, is they're not really showing
Like
us what these games look
how
like.
huge of a difference is it
yeah,
gonna be?
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, how much better would it
I
look?
was
You know what?
watching-
Probably not that
You
much
know what?
better.
You know what though? I was watching something today. I don't remember what game it was, and they were showing the current gen version of it, and I was surprised at that. And looking at it, it did not look. I think it was Assassin's Creed, maybe. I don't
Possibly.
know. But I was looking at it, and I was like, oh, that doesn't look as pretty as it did in the
Yeah.
conference.
All right. To reel this in real quick,
Okay.
just because I know Microsoft does have some impressive technology on their system. Not that I'm 100% against it. I mean, some of their the TV features.
Eventually, I'm sure I'll have both.
Some of their TV features, it's some neat tech that they're pulling out this year, and it's nice. Just I think, and I know they're looking for the future, which is kind of funny because that's what Sony was saying they were doing with PS3. Sony was sitting there, they're going to be the all-in-one.
That's why they switched spots this time.
They were going to be their all-in-one entertainment box, and Xbox was.
It
like,
only
hey,
does everything.
it only does everything, and Microsoft was like, "Where's the 360? We're the gaming console," and they.
Well, you have to remember they also lost their exclusivity of Blu-ray too, so they can't exactly come out and say, "Oh, we are the entertainment system
Right.
we have," because now the Microsoft system also has Blu-ray. So
They did
that was
that.
part of the reason.
And there's that.
Because PlayStation 3 was a big seller as a Blu-ray player also.
And that's what I was going to bring up is they did really good with Blu-ray. Blu-ray clearly won the format war, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
The format skirmish. I don't know what you'd call it. It wasn't really much of a battle.
It was a battle. Well, we can say battle. It wasn't a war, but it was a battle.
Yeah. So I guess they did
I
that.
fought
But,
for both sides, but I'm
but I think
an idiot.
I think this year's Microsoft's coming out with their new technology stuff, and I think they missed the boat because we have smart TVs, tablets, we have technology. Back when Sony was doing this 7 years ago, trying to be the all-in-one, we didn't have that sort of stuff. If we did,
it's very true.
It was like $4,000 or $5,000 and stuff. Now things have caught up. We have smart TVs, we have tablets and stuff that connect to things. We don't really need this all-in-one console, which Sony or Microsoft now has out, and now is going to be more expensive, and at least to get achievements for watching McDonald's ads.
I want to know if Sony is going to have a smart glass type thing
Possibly.
for PlayStation 4, because that was the thing. Microsoft pushed smart glass a lot, and even in
Google Glass, they're gonna have that.
the other press conferences though, the Ubisoft and the EA both had moments where they were showing a game off, and there was someone on a tablet doing something with the game with them, like calling in helicopters or calling in airstrikes or drones.
It's a neat
or whatever.
gimmick.
Yeah, it could be interesting, but I'm saying is that going to be functionality that you only get on an Xbox One? That was not clear to us. Are they not going to use Smart Glass? Or are they just going to make these apps that you can get for these games if you don't use Smart Glass?
And since these are publishers who are going for both consoles, I'd assume they deliver to both.
I would too, but I'm just saying it's a question that we don't have an answer to. I'm just
I
saying,
know. And
Again, we have a lot
theorize.
of unanswered questions still. I mean, we got a lot clarified over the last day.
But
day
there's
and a
still
half,
little dim
There are
spots.
details.
There's details and little things that are a little missing that we would like more connections, and it's a little disappointing, which brings me back to Nintendo's press conference.
Yeah, that's right. We never got to
There we
back to
go.
that.
Nintendo announced the standard Nintendo stuff at E3. The end. That's all I got to say about it. Literally, here's a 3DS, Zelda. Here's fucking new Smash Brothers. It's Nintendo. They've announced their standard Nintendo fare, and God, I wish after this gen they just need to stop. Nobody would be, and I know they're making money. I know they make money. We give them a lot of shit. They still turn profits, but they would probably make a lot more.
Well, not lately, but they were.
They would still probably make a lot more if they just went like Sega did and stopped making consoles and just started publishing for.
I agree with that statement, but then
Everyone that
again,
wanted it.
how many awesome Sega games have you played in the last however many years? So, but again, that's Sega's
Well, I mean,
issue.
that's
Sega, not
Nintendo. Like people love them some Mario and Link and fucking Yoshi,
Samus.
Like they love those stuff, regardless of how dull or rehashed they seem to be to normal people.
Yeah.
Nintendrones.
Well, to the hardcore.
To normal people, Nintendrones love their Nintendo stuff, and if you were just to put it, they would buy it no matter where you gave it, no matter if it was the same thing or not. They would buy it. Nintendo doesn't need to make another console, sell another gimmick thing. They don't have to go back in the console biz. They could just make software for the rest of their lives.
I kind of agree.
Sit on a giant pile of money, and they probably should just do that.
I feel sorry for Nintendo because it really is depressing watching every time they announce stuff. And they'll announce some cool stuff, but the overall feeling is
here it is again.
And we're in trouble. And we're in trouble. That's the other thing you feel.
Yeah.
So
Oh no, I don't
agree with you.
I don't see that they're in trouble. I think they're doing.
No, they are financially in trouble.
Finally, because I mean, last I heard they were
because the
still
Wii
doing
U
good.
is so not selling. That's the problem. They are way below projected numbers,
Well,
and so their stockholders are not happy. And
projected, but they're still making a profit.
Well, I'm not sure.
All right.
I'm not sure, to be honest.
Well, then
with
if
you.
they were in that bad of a straits, then this probably is the way to go.
I think they're worse off than you think. I'm not saying Nintendo is like done as a company. I think they made enough money off of the Wii that they can keep going this entire generation and be fine because they made enough money there. However, next generation they might be in trouble. The problem to me is, at this point they're so far behind, being that whole generation behind, and what do you do next time? I mean, are they going to make something that is the next gen? You know, are they going to do that? Or are they going to make this next gen
roll up underneath
again?
them.
Oh, okay.
So anyways, I just think that they're kind of so behind that maybe they do need to start looking at next time not coming out with a system and just having
It'd be the smart move to do. What do you think, Nintendo Entertainment System owner and third shift worker Richard Buckner?
I don't have a Nintendo.
You have an original Nintendo.
Oh, I do have original Nintendo.
Nintendo Entertainment System.
Oh, I'm
well, we
sorry.
all grew up with Nintendo except for you.
Except for me. Glorious Sega Master Race.
Where
You
are
know
they
what?
now?
With some of those Nintendo games I play or whatever else, if they were available, on a PlayStation or an Xbox, I would have no problem playing them.
Let's use an example. You looked at the trailer for Super Mario 3D World, right, on the
Yeah.
Wii U. If that game was coming out for, let's just say even 360, would you think about getting that game or be interested in that game?
Probably.
See?
It looks fun.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure it will be.
Nintendo makes
I'm sure it will be.
fun games, but they make them for a system that only has Nintendo games.
Yeah.
And are you going to buy a system based on the and they don't. And that's part of
And
the quality
last
of their
time,
games is they don't come
With the
out
Wii,
every year.
with the Wii, you could stomach that more because it was only like $200 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's not like you were spending. The Wii U is what, $350 or something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, it's outrageous, especially now. It's $50 less than a PlayStation
I
4.
bet my arms look really wide on camera.
All of ours do. We're pale. So, anyways, it's $50 less than a PlayStation 4. Think about that.
Yeah,
It's gonna have to come down this fall.
but
it's
and
gonna
that's-
have to.
It has to. But no, just kind of what Richard was touching on is, if they came out for another console, because Nintendo makes fun games, but they make it for a system that they make their own games on, and they can't do that anymore.
And they're a proud Japanese company, so it's gonna be hard to convince them otherwise. So.
Hey, Squeenix jumped fucking exclusivity pretty quickly once they found out that they couldn't make it.
Well, that was when they became Squeenix, though.
I think they were still pumping that shit out. I don't know. I want to
No,
say
Square switched from Nintendo to Sony merely because of disc base. No, because of disc. They couldn't put Final Fantasy VII
That's
on
right.
a cartridge.
they tried,
Yeah,
but it was
and
going to
they
be a
couldn't do it.
multi-cartridge, and Nintendo didn't want them to do that.
Yep.
And they were like, well, we can't do
They
this
didn't
then.
switch because they were like, they still had loyalty to Nintendo. They switched because of necessity, not because of wanting to.
And then Sony.
They didn't become.
Sony taught.
And they were Square
Teach
Enix.
them. They rubbed them in the right way.
They were
Sony trained them
Squeenix by the time it was multi-platform.
good. And Square was
So-
cock of the rock back then, and Sony treated them really good. And then to PS2, they were.
Sony and even Nintendo treated them well when they were on Nintendo.
Right. But once they jumped over to the disc-based,
I still really want
Sony.
Mario
Sony was
RPG,
good.
man.
That isn't cool.
I want a Mario RPG done by Square.
Well, that exists. It's called Super Mario RPG.
Yeah, but I want a new one.
Oh. Well, that's not happening.
I know. That's the
Neither is
downfall.
a real Chrono Trigger sequel.
Yeah. I
With
want
the
that
original
too.
team.
Yeah.
I heard something. Oh no,
I just want 2D
Yeah,
Super
whatever.
Nintendo's.
You know what's funny? I was looking at my phone today at work, and I'm like, I need a new game to play, and I'm like looking at where's my 2D RPGs on my phone? Like, I could go for it.
I can get like Final Fantasy 4 and Final Fantasy 3.
Well, yeah, I didn't want to
That's on
spend
my phone.
$17 for
I
Final
know,
Fantasy 3 because it's the same port that I had on my DS.
Yeah.
And I already
So-
beat or stopped playing that one. I don't remember, but I guess
It goes for $975 on eBay.
Brand new.
well, that's
Yeah, that's
black label
brand new.
vertical seam seal.
That's brand new. Yeah, that I believe it now.
Wow, $975 US.
Yep. That's more than
You
all
could buy
systems.
both-
You could buy
Both
both
next-gen systems, or you could buy one factory
Super
sealed
Mario
part.
RPG.
Super Mario RPG. That's the world we live in.
Yeah, awesome. Is there anything else anyone wants to say?
Wait, hold on. Are there any bids on that?
Probably not.
Let's see.
No, I don't think it's a buy it now price. There is no.
Oh.
So obviously,
Fuck
no
them.
bids. So anyways, it's probably an inflated price.
Most likely.
I don't know why.
I'm sure it only goes for $700 or $600.
Hey, there's someone selling it for $50.
$50.
Well, that's gonna
is
jump up.
50 to $60.
Let's buy it now. It's in very good condition. I don't know if you get a box or
This one, $150 for it in the box.
All right, so.
with instructions and everything. I can edit this out. But anyway.
But we're not going to.
I will.
Don't.
Okay. So is there anything else you want to say about E3?
I got
Richard
nothing.
has a lot to watch yet, but at this point he's leaning Microsoft. I find that to be interesting.
Only because I don't know what PlayStation's bringing to the table. You know, with what you guys said, it's still kind of a toss-up.
Yeah, I think the exclusives thing is really weird to me, and I know they told us exclusives before and showed some of them again. You know, your Infamous and your Killzone and stuff.
I'm really.
I guess they're not the interesting. They're not the interesting sequel.
But I don't think
it's
they-
not a new Uncharted. It's not.
No.
And Beyond Two Souls is going to be on PlayStation 3, so it's not a new Quantic Dream game. It's the interesting things are just not there. That's all.
No
because
one blew away with
like
I think the exclusives for both consoles just kind of canceled each other. Like nothing
Yeah.
was that new, nothing was that great,
Yeah.
and they just kind of like bam. So it's the dust settles and we're back to where we were at the start of E3, which comes down other than
What-
price points and the hardware, which it still has Sony on top.
What do we think about Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare?
I don't know. I thought you were the one that went on.
I'm
about
the
that.
one that liked it a lot. I really want to play that game. I think it could be awesome. Could be. Again, I don't know that it will, but it could be awesome. That's the casual gamer in me speaking out. So, sorry. Richard's like, I don't know what that is. And Peggle too. Peggle.
Yeah, Peggle 2. How did
Peggle's
that make?
awesome.
How did that make it to a
Peggle's
list?
Awesome.
Peggle 2.
Because Peggle 1 is awesome. That's why.
Do you really want to go with Peggle 2 in your press conference? Like, hey everybody, Peggle
Yes.
2.
Yes. Yes, you
Hey everybody,
Peggle
Zuma
2.
3. Like,
No,
is
I
that-
don't care about that. See, I told you there are two PopCap games I care about: Plants vs Zombies and Peggle, and they met both of my needs on those yesterday. So
Yeah, and you went on about them like they were. The
I did not
best.
go on about them. Watch the video. It's like a minute. I don't even like talk about it forever.
So
I just said
that's-
it looked really cool and
You
fun.
didn't talk about them and glance over them like you're supposed to.
I glanced over everything. That video's like 9
Except for
minutes
Peggle.
long. The EA video's like 9 minutes long, and I talked about like everything they showed.
Whatever.
So
I haven't watched it yet, so I don't know.
okay.
Well, I guess that about wraps it up.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much all anyone wants to say. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Kit probably has nothing to say because he doesn't watch any of this.
Well, he's already got his opinion.
Yeah, we know he doesn't want new systems, so why would he care about them? Anyways,
That's why he's not here with us today.
we're just talking bad about him while he's not here.
Or he's working.
No, he's working for another half hour or something. Anyways, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about E3. So there's more I'm sure that we'll see from E3. There's more, demos we'll see on the internet and stuff like that since G4 is dead. But anyways, we will.
Esquire lives.
Yeah, whatever.
G4 is dead. Long live Esquire.
Whatever.
Wait,
and,
it is?
and
How come I still can watch episodes of
yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah.
You can't watch.
And I'm not high. On,
God, what was with the Sindar?
the Sindalar.
Sindalar.
Oh man, we're talking early G4.
the Scott Bakula show? I
Quantum
watched
Leap?
it. Yeah, I've watched bits and pieces of that.
Quantum Leap
Yeah,
is
they
on-
do play Quantum Leap repeats.
Sweet.
I know, I've got caught watching them too.
It's on Netflix though, so I just watch. I watch my Quantum Leap on Netflix.
Yeah, you can. No, they had like Arena, and they
Arena?
had wasn't Kevin Pereira Captain Remy or something when he first appeared
God,
on?
who
And he
fucking
wore
is?
like a Canadian tuxedo and shit, and had a freaky mustache.
Yes.
Great times. Great times. And yeah, what did the Sindalar host though?
It was like a burn.
What was the one
Scribe.
Portal or whatever? The like
Scorch?
MMO.
I liked Portal. Me and Vince liked Portal.
I
You
wasn't a
didn't-
big fan
you
of
didn't
Portal.
like
It was okay at times. Sometimes it was funny. Oh man, classic G4 when they only
When they had
like,
really good ads.
They only had like 6 or 7 shows, but they just continuously replayed them.
But they're all about games.
Electric Playground had its own show on at that point. Now it's just like an online show. Which one it was?
Tommy
Victor Lucas, Tommy Tallarico.
Tallarico. Also known for his soundtrack in Earthworm Jim.
I miss the old days of G4, man.
No,
when G4 first came
early
out, I
G4
watched
was
the
awesome.
shit out of that. Yeah, it was so awesome.
Because it was a bunch of bullshit.
And then, because it was only gaming too. It was like just crazy gaming shit.
And then
They did like Christmas ads where they had like
Yeah.
people in Halo making a tree. Like they did like crazy shit.
It was very
awesome.
niche, which is
Yeah,
that's why
yeah.
they changed
Yeah,
it
it was
because
awesome,
you needed
though.
more viewers.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great.
Fuck, it was Burn something. Like the Cinderella show was Burn something.
No, I don't think it was Burn.
It involved fire. Scorch?
Might have been something like that.
It involved fire. Richard, you're in the information
Yeah,
station.
information station here, man.
Oh.
I don't know why we're recording this anymore.
Look up Bill Sindelar.
Bill,
I'm
what?
doing-
Sindelar with an S.
Yeah.
You can fake the rest of the name. God knows he did. This is really important stuff.
This is good footage here of us looking at.
Yes.
He has an official website.
And Twitter.
Sindelar.com? IMBD that shit. And what was else? There was another show. The trailer show. What was the trailer show called?
Holy shit, it's him.
Oh, what did you expect?
I didn't know if we had his name right.
Keep scrolling.
Don't forget the lyrics. That's what he does now. Or he did in '98 or 2008.
Oh, I'm gay walking with Bill
Oh,
Sindelar.
I'm gay.
That's what it says.
Wow.
Ah.
You know, that makes sense. He was in an episode of Hannah Montana.
Blister.
Blister!
Blister.
There we go.
We found it.
I was in the ballpark.
I'm gonna just cut to Blister, by the way.
And he's gay.
I guess, according to the IMDb page, it sounds like it. So, whatever. I don't have a problem with that. Anyways.
And what was the trailer show called? It was like Cine Park?
Yeah.
Anyway, fuck you, Esquire. I liked old G4. Actually, fuck,
Just bring
fuck
back
you,
old
G4
G4.
Tech TV crossover. I liked just regular G4
And just Tech TV, too.
and Tech TVs. Why did they have to mix them?
X-Play was better when it was just Adam Sessler on Tech TV.
To be fair, Adam Sessler's just awesome.
Yeah, still is. Still is over at the Rev 3 Games.
And
stuff,
Morgan
so.
Webb still has really large shoulders.
Okay. Alright.
That's a scientific fact. She's a very shoulder-wide woman. Not that there's anything
I'm
wrong
not
with it.
disagreeing, I'm just...
I've had the pleasure of a large-shouldered woman before,
This is...
but I certainly didn't
this
call
is
her afterwards.
completely falling apart, just so you guys...
And that led to some bullshit later on. So
Good thing anyone who watches our videos don't make it this far.
Good thing anyone watches.
It's a good
Good
thing.
thing there's no large shoulder women's I've had sex with watching these videos. Because right now they're like, "Fuck you, Josh."
Oh man.
Uh,
What did we just do for the last like 5 minutes?
Looked up
Old G4 shit.
Trying to find out what Bill Sindelar did, and Josh talked about his sex life with large-shouldered women.
Okay.
Summarize.
They need loving too.
Well, she wasn't fat. She just had wide shoulders like Morgan Webb.
Okay. I don't know what's going on here anymore. Yeah. So, those were our thoughts up to this point on E3 and classic G4. So,
You gotta put that in the description of the video.
if
Don't leave that out. Make sure people know that near the end of the video, we just start talking about old G4. That's an interesting bracelet
and
you're
the
wearing.
Krampus commercial?
No,
That was
oh,
awesome.
Krampus. No, it's all
Oh.
the dot hack commercial. It's like that's an
Dot
interesting.
hack.
That's an interesting bracelet you're wearing. And it's the best thing about that is it wasn't like they recorded that audio for a commercial for G4. That's literally how terrible the voice acting was
Yeah.
in the game.
Yeah, yeah.
I liked dot hack.
Okay. So, I'm sure we'll do a big E3 wrap up at the end of the week. Or
I'll probably
whatever.
be drunker.
So, yeah. And,
I probably won't be there.
yeah. So it's nice to get some thoughts on Richard right now. I'm sure we'll ask you at some point again your overall thoughts once you've seen everything. You know, we'll get it in there.
E3 doesn't end this week. E3 goes on. And it burns in the hearts of every console war veteran until they come out.
Fair enough.
Okay, so that's our midway. Well, it's not really midway. It's day 1 of E3 today.
Day 2.
But no, it's day 1. Yesterday was just press conferences. The actual convention is only is open today, first time.
Well, fuck.
That was day 0. This is day 1. So, anyways, we're barely in E3. See, guys, even though most things have been announced. So, anyways,
It's day 1 of E3, everything's been announced.
this is what we got on E3 so far. Our impressions, what we thought, and yeah, see what we think at the end. I'm sure we'll have more videos
I don't think a lot's going to change from the core of E3 because
No, it'll just be seeing some games maybe that weren't top tier important.
we'll see.
Games.
We'll see some other companies. We won't see the big like Ubisoft, E3 or E3, EA, Ubisoft have already done their big shows. I think we're going to see a lot more of that. The little
You know, at the
developers.
Nintendo press conference, they're also getting Oddworld new and tasty. I thought that was interesting. But again, I can get it on PlayStation 4 or whatever they have.
But
the remake of Oddworld.
No.
I don't know. I was just happy to see Oddworld inhabited.
No, I think that one of the more interesting things that happens at the end of E3, I think, is just that you get like once all the smoke is cleared, once all the big guys
and the hyperbole is done, and you can you can sit back and think
well,
about
no,
things
no,
more.
that I just meant that once all the big guys have had their like big press conferences and shit, all the little guys, at least at that point, if something cool and interesting has happened from the little guys, then that actually shows up in the news. Because right now, the news feeds are drowned with
press
PS4
conference.
does this, Xbox does
conference
this,
stuff.
press conference and
I
like
remember
retractions
last
and
year-
reiterations.
Last year, you have games like Dishonored. I don't think were ever shown on any press conferences or anything. They kind of there.
You know what? I
And
think
those are
it
pretty
showed
big
up near the end.
games.
You know,
Are you
I,
sure? I don't know.
I think it showed up near the end. I think I remember hearing about it. Like that's like
Yeah, but you saw
hear about
it,
the stuff
like in G4's coverage or something. You'd seen something about.
There was a
Dishonored.
clip.
But I'm saying it wasn't an initial. Oh,
Wasn't
did
a
you
big
see
fan.
Dishonored? I played some of it so far, and it's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not huge on it either, which is weird because.
And I played a bit of it,
So many
'cause
people love it, and I wanted to love it.
I wanted to enjoy it too, but they were like, oh, if you liked BioShock, check this shit out. And I'm like, I guess. I mean, I jumped through a window.
I didn't play much of it either, though, and I have a feeling it's a game that in the beginning is not great.
I played a good
I have
chunk
a feeling
of it.
I don't really have any powers, many powers.
I played a good chunk of it, and at the point where I was at, I was like, all right, so this is. And then I freed up hard drive
The
space.
stealth just wasn't as tight as it should be. Like I was sitting there thinking I was behind cover a lot, and all of a sudden it'd be like, "I see you," and I'm like, "What? You weren't even looking this direction or whatever."
Fuck you, rats! And
I
so
probably just suck at the game, whatever.
to rein her in for the.
And I also felt like I shouldn't be seen ever, and so as soon as I was seen, I'd get mad. But again, that's why you don't make games like that for me. Don't tell me I'm supposed to play it one way, and then when I mess up, tell me that's okay, because then I think no,
Never
it's not
play the
okay.
original Deus Ex.
And maybe that's why I don't like Human Revolution either.
Human Revolution is sweet.
We're running out of
really
film.
like
I
it.
see red light.
Probably. It's probably what that means.
All right, so I'm Josh Jessen.
Richard Buckner.
And Brandon Kaiser, and we'll talk to you later.
Not to you, actually.
In video form.
In video. Like, we'll talk at you.
You get the idea.
You get no input in this
You
conversation.
get the idea. Stay tuned.
Subscribe and comment.
Oh yeah, and
At the
stay
bottom.
tuned. I'm not talking about the movie. Stay tuned with the parents going through TV.
Wasn't that with John Ritter?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Anyways, sweet movie. So, anyways, see you in the
I
next
would knock
video.
on his door.
Oh.
Well, he's dead. So you can knock on his casket. Oh, that was bad. I should not have said that.
We won't edit that
I
out.
should-